Hey guys, Sparksity here. I'm assuming you all know who I am if you're watching this video. If you don't, welcome to the YouTube channel. I recently, as in just today, have started full-time streaming on Twitch, which I'll put a link in the description if anybody's interested in following me there. And I wanted to do a little, like basically a vlog, daily vlog to sort of detail my thoughts, see how I feel about stuff, summarize my day, soundboard my own ideas, and yeah, and sort of maybe it'll be an interesting, like talking through my experiences will be an interesting little thing for people who are also thinking about taking the plunge and doing full-time streaming, because it's a very big undertaking. It's very scary. I'm scared shitless. I have enough money for just over half a year, but at the end of that, if I don't manage to grow the channel or grow my income at least enough to the point where I can sustain myself, it's going to be back to square one essentially. So it's definitely a scary undertaking, and I hope that in sharing my experience, it gives at least some comfort to some people who are thinking of doing this themselves, and maybe who, need a little bit of extra sort of oomph. They need to see somebody who's done it or is going through it. They need to, they want to feel a little bit more prepared going into it. Not that, I'm an expert or anything, but maybe my experience will help you understand what's in store and what you might end up feeling. So the nerves are there, of course, but for the most part, I'm just excited. This is the first day of the project that I want to do, which is the vlogs. I've got other YouTube ideas coming in. I'm thinking of, a lot of different videos, a lot of different content types, strategies to grow the channel. I talked a bit about it on stream. I have a very conservative social media presence. I don't really take hard stances on anything. I don't do anything inflammatory, and I don't want to change that. I don't want to be a heel in any community that I'm in, the Rocket League community being the one that I'm probably closest involved in, or most heavily involved in, I should say. But I guess I just don't want it to be like, I want to be able to stimulate discussion. And I feel like by being very well polished and stuff like that, I'm less interesting, if that makes sense. So I need to find a way to be interesting on social media without being like a heel of any community I'm in, or like, a negative person, or like a troll. I don't want to be a shit poster or anything like that. Rocket League has enough of those. Am I right? Rank A kids. But yeah, so basically I'm spending most of my time streaming. My waking hours, roughly half of my waking hours are spent streaming. And then everything else is going to be, a little bit of relaxing, and then a lot of other stuff like creating these videos, learning how to edit, creating music. I might eventually try and whip up like a neat little intro, either an intro tune, or I might use an existing one, but I kind of want to make something new for this because this is a new undertaking for me. But yeah, this is a really exciting thing. And I think that, excuse me, I think that especially the younger folks out there, my dudes that are, either in high school or just about to graduate and don't know what they want to do with their lives, I think it's important to take some time. You don't have to go to school immediately. It's important to take some time and figure out what's important to you and what you want to do. I didn't take that time. I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and that's okay too. Like you're trying and failing is the only way you can really be sure if it's something you want to do. And in that same vein, I'm trying this again. I've done full-time streaming before, but it was planned to be short-term. It wasn't planned to be long-term like this, because I wanted to see if I could do it. And this is really like the be-all end-all. I really want to succeed at this, and I'm really going to grind my ass off to it. And I don't think I'd want to go to the end of my life or my 50s and have a midlife crisis because I never tried this and I had the means to. I've spent the last, I don't know, better part of 2 years maneuvering myself into a position in my life where I could afford to do this, both financially and I guess, not emotionally. Emotionally is kind of the wrong word, but in a position where, I live in a place where I have chill roommates who understand, and it's a relatively cheap place. I've saved up a lot of money, and it's self-funded. So I've spent a lot of time prepping for this, and I think that's something you have to do. I know that the tendency is to really, really go hard, and you sort of get it in your head. My tendency anyway is I get an idea in my head and then I kind of just go for it. And that's a good thing sometimes. You'll hear me talk about that a lot in Rocket League. Like if you're going to commit to a play, just go for it. Don't sit there trying to figure out what's going on. And I take that approach in life. And it's very hard once I've made up my mind to convince me otherwise, because I'm a very stubborn guy. So I'm working on trying to be a little bit more, not only just like if somebody gives me advice, I actually weigh it and don't just immediately dismiss and be like, yeah, no, you're wrong. I know what's best. But also to seek advice. I have some ideas for a video, and this sort of ties into the topic earlier I was talking about not wanting to be a heel, but wanting to generate a little bit of buzz and not be so clean cut and stuff like that in my social media presence. I have some ideas for video, and they've got some jokes in there that are, could be seen as quite inflammatory. I don't think so. I think everybody on the internet, especially the folks I'd be taking jabs at, they've probably got pretty thick skin, essentially, considering I'm like a no-name streamer. I don't think I should be causing them any grief. But I don't want to either. Like, I'm hoping that we can all accept that it's a joke, that these jokes are just that, right? And the video itself is not targeting anybody. It's more addressing a broader concept that was brought up by somebody in the community, somewhat jokingly. So that's going to be something I'm going to be working on. I don't know if I want to set a schedule for those. I don't want to. This is something that I can do every day. I can summarize my day. We can bring it back. We can run it back through, and I can do this and stretch it out to 10 minutes if I need to. I don't know if I want to be thinking about creative stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I want to be like, ooh, I want to put out one creative video a week, because at some point you just start going through the motions and cranking them out. I've done that before in various projects. So I think that the jokes in the video will be good. I think that they won't be too inflammatory. And again, I asked a couple people about it. I pulled some people close to me who've known me for a while, and who I know have a good head on their shoulders and will tell me what's what, even if it's not necessarily what I want to hear. And they brought up some good points, and it was an enlightening conversation for sure. And I did end up changing one of the jokes because I think it was too much, and it was a joke about somebody who like it wasn't involved in the topic. But anyway, you'll see that when the video comes out. I'm probably overanalyzing this way too much, but especially because again, like I'm small, I haven't grown yet. It's probably not going to see too much traffic, but it would be a way of getting some people in the door. What else? How was the stream today? Stream was good. It was 8 full hours. No sign of fatigue or wear or tear. Played pretty decently the whole time, especially in ones. I was really surprised. I played about a handful of ones games, and I think I only lost one. And then I rematched the guy in the next game, and I queued into him again, and we won. So that's really good. I think I'm like 60 or 70 points away from being top 100 in ones now, which is pretty cool. I don't know if I'm really going to grind hard for that before the season ends. I also want to think of something unique to do on Thursdays, which are my variety day traditionally. I don't know if I'm going to need a variety day anymore because of the structure I'm planning on implementing for my streaming. I don't think I'm going to be playing Rocket League 8 hours a day. I think I'll play it, in the evening slot, like 5 to 9, 6 to 9, something like that. But I might want to branch out and start doing different things in the earlier part of the day where I don't have many viewers anyway, because most of my regulars are at work and stuff like that. So it's definitely stuff to think about. I'm constantly strategizing and constantly iterating on my own strategies. Whether or not that's a good thing, remains to be seen yet. But I think if you want to undertake something like this, you really have to be fully committed. You have to be fully in that headspace where, like, when I'm not streaming, I'm usually thinking about streaming, and when I'm not thinking about, or when I'm watching, YouTube or whatever, just zoning out, I'm still trying to apply what I'm hearing to my own stream and trying to make it work for me. So that's the sort of headspace I'm in. It's a lot, and it's tiring sometimes, but it's fun, and this is what I love to do, and this is what I want to be successful at. So that's sort of my personality. I kind of get really into things and then just run as hard as I can with them, and then sometimes I give up on them. So this is not going to be one of those times. In terms of plans for streaming, obviously the base goal is by the end of the 7 months that I have, I'm financially stable in that I'm not hemorrhaging cash, basically. Because right now I'm, operating at a negative. So obviously I'd like to crank that up and operate at a positive. So we'll see what we can do there. And I'm contemplating, taking on, trying to, grow my YouTube and stuff like that, and trying to find other streams of income that I can use to help myself along and supplement myself. I might pick up a part-time job if, like, halfway through this full-time stint I'm not seeing any upward trending, or enough upward trending, or I am seeing it, but I need just a bit more, so yeah, that's sort of all I have to say about streaming for today. And And in terms of what I'm going to be doing with the time outside streaming, it's not that this is technically taking the place of my day job, but that's not it. I want to learn how to edit video really well, like become a really good editor, and that can enhance my stream, and I can freelance that. I want to get better at music, both writing and production. I know how to write a little bit, but I'm not, I don't do it enough. I didn't have time. I was working a 40-hour a week job and then streaming, 25, 35 hours a week. So Sundays were my only day off, and even then I was still gaming with my buddies usually, so I didn't have a lot of time to myself. So hopefully I can use the time that I'm using as my day job now for streaming, and then the time that I was using for part-time streaming I can use to, further these goals for myself. Because at the end of the day, if I manage to crank out a whole bunch of really sick editing and get really good at it, or get really good at music and learn a lot more about it, I can leverage those into things. And if my stream grows, then I have a platform to launch stuff off of, and it's really cool. It's really intriguing. So it's a pretty interesting undertaking. But I think I'm going to cut that off there. Thank you guys very much for watching this. I hope everybody enjoyed. If you ever have any questions, feel free to drop one in the comments below. I will read all of them, because there's not going to be a lot, if any. And if there's anything I didn't really cover, yeah, feel free to bring it to my attention. I'll drop my link for my Twitch stream and my socials and my Discord and stuff in the description of the video, just in case you guys want to engage with the city. You can do that at your own leisure. But until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow for the after stream. Take it easy.